And welcome to another Heart to Heart with Tessie. And boy, did I make a stir on last week's video. But you know what? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get people thinking outside the box. And boy, I sure did. You know, there's no right or wrong answer, but a few people did not understand my video. So I'm here to share with you just a little bit a more explanation of what I was talking about last Sunday. Feels good to sit down and take a break. It's really cold out here. It's probably like 20 degrees, but I love being outside and I love having the fresh air and breathing that air in. So I want to share a little bit with you about last week's video. Did you know I had over 400 comments? I think this is one of my highest commented videos. In fact, I had just as many thumbs ups as I did comments. Oh, I touched a nerve, that's for sure. No, 98% of the people understood exactly what I was saying. They understood my heart and they understood the points I was bringing out. But then there was just three people. There was three people as of the date of filming this that didn't quite understand what I was saying. And I want to really rephrase what I was saying in a nutshell. The first thing I said was, this is a disclaimer. This is not labeling everyone. This is not about everyone. There are many people that are considered wealthy in this day and age that are givers. It seems like the three people didn't quite understand that I wasn't saying it about everyone. I wasn't pointing a finger, and I wasn't judging anyone. What I was trying to say is when you are striving to be in that rat race and only to get rich, and at the end of your life you find out riches aren't everything. That is what I was trying to say, and boy, most of you understood it. Gotta understand, this is a little country girl. This is a girl that lived a very sheltered life. I made the statement of being wealthy. Well, I realized in different parts of the country, wealth is really different. Here in my area, if you're a millionaire, you're considered wealthy. So that was the whole point of my video, was to just share with you about the rat race of life. Okay, so if I was to inherit $1 million tomorrow, what would I do? What I was trying to say is that if you use your money to help others, that's where we should be. If we use our money and helping others and not trying to hold on to it and being stingy with it. That was the whole point of my video. And wow, did I cause a stir. I tend to do this every once in a while. And you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing. I really made you all think, and that was all part of my video. I want to share things that make you think. They say you shouldn't talk about politics, religion, and your age. I think you shouldn't talk about money either. Oh! But you know what? I heard so many stories. I couldn't believe the stories that I was hearing. Stories about people who actually won the lottery, only to find out it wasn't everything that it was cracked up to be. People that wish they could win the lottery, and people that would like to win the lottery only to help get other people out of debt. You guys are amazing people. You know what? Thumbs up to all of you because you have such genuine hearts. I've heard stories that were just amazing. If you didn't catch that video, I would really recommend you go back and watch Why Wealth Isn't For Me and read the comments. Don't worry about my video. It's the comments is where the gold is. I even had a troll who said I was a gold digger, and you guys are all, I guess, feeding me the gold. It's just too cute. Oh. So I am so excited for this week, and I'm really excited about sharing with you more challenging questions, more thought-provoking questions, and more comments from all of you. Oh, there's so much to share in life. With you a video on how I was a full-time housewife for most of my life, and the last 2 years I've become a full-time YouTuber, and the difference. Wow, I learned a lot there too. I didn't realize what it was like, especially for a woman, to work away. Now, of course, a lot of you would say, well, you're not truly working out in the workforce. That's true, but I do put in anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day on my YouTube. So I do work at home, and this is considered a job. It's a job I love, but it's a very challenging job. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that are very challenging about YouTube that you may not know unless you have a channel. You find me sitting at my desk, and I'm going to share with you a little bit how I've gone from a full-time homemaker to a full-time YouTuber. Never thought I would say those words. I have been married almost 32 years, and for 30 years I was a homemaker. I never worked outside of the home, not one day in my whole entire life. I never earned a paycheck until I started my YouTube. So I come to you with a different point of view than what you may see on other channels or through other people's lives. I never, ever, ever worked away from home. And that was how my mother was, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. This is how we lived our lives. Homemaker to full-time YouTuber is such an extreme difference than what you would imagine. You know, my life consisted of all the cooking that you see, all the canning, all of that, but I never had the camera on. And so I have to have the camera on, I have to videotape it, and then I have to go here and I have to edit it. So I turn the camera on and I videotape it, but then I have to go back, rewatch the whole thing, and I have to edit it. Most interesting things I learned about being full-time on YouTube this year, because this year I really devoted more time and effort into seeing if I could make this work for me, and it has. And I think the most surprising thing is that I am not considered mainstream. I am not considered liberal. And I realize that there is such a difference in the ways channels are being promoted. I think that there's such a difference in the way channels are being shared. And if you are a liberal, or you live a liberal lifestyle, or things like that, you are shared as a channel so much more through the YouTube platform than if you were considered conservative. That is something I really learned. I didn't know much about, you know, how the world works and how the economy works and things like that. And I think that being conservative, I think you have to try a little extra harder at making your videos and doing things to get that same exposure. I believe that. You know, I really believe that people that are considered conservative don't get the same publicity as somebody who isn't. I think another thing that is really hard with being with YouTube is knowing boundaries, and, you know, knowing your limits, and knowing what you can and can't do, and knowing that you can't help everyone. I think that was something that was really hard for me to learn. You know, I want to help everyone. I want to show everyone a life and a way of living, and I know that not everybody perceives it that way, and not everybody is accepted of that lifestyle, and not everybody enjoys this lifestyle. And people come to me with questions, and sometimes they expect answers that I can't give them. And I think that was really hard for me, is because I'm a people pleaser. I want everybody to be happy and everybody to feel loved, but sometimes you can't reach out to everyone. They're not receptive of it. I think that my desire to help everyone has been such a challenge to me, and I enjoy it so much. But I have to understand that I cannot make everybody happy all the time. I think the benefit of YouTube far outweighs any of the disadvantages or the negativity of it. You know, my whole married life, outside of my marriage, I really didn't have any voice. As a child, I didn't have a voice, and to others outside of my marriage, I never had a voice. I was just considered a high school dropout homemaker that had no knowledge, no wisdom, had nothing to say important. I was never asked about my opinions on anything outside of my marriage. My husband has always been loving and so deeply devoted to me and our children. But outside of that, I never really was given the voice. And I had so much to say in life, but nobody took me seriously. Nobody gave me that voice. And I think that is one thing I really learned with YouTube, because all of you just gave me that little bit of a push to help create in me a better self-esteem, that I am able to go out there and I'm able to have a voice. You know, so many say the same word, a breath of fresh air, and I listen. And when I talk, you listen. And so we accept one another. And so the breath of fresh air is you guys giving it to me and me returning it to you. And so the circle of positivity keeps going around and around, because that is what we established here. And I do believe that I turned the camera on and I started speaking, but you guys are the ones who formed the community. And you guys are the ones that inspired me and gave me a backbone in life and gave me a voice. And I want to thank you so much, because it took 47 years for me to have a voice and for me to be recognized as having a voice. And that is something no money in YouTube can ever pay for. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow.